Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss about chi-square test. This is our outline. There are three agenda points. What is chi-square test? What are the assumptions of chi-square test? And we'll consider one example for chi-square test. So what exactly chi-square test is? Chi-square test is used for finding significant relations. It is used to determine if categorical data shows dependency or the two classifications are independent. So in chi-square test, we find the relationship between two variables if the data is in categorical. Now, chi-square test, there are two popular types of chi-square test. Chi-square test for goodness of fit, that is the analysis of single categorical variable. So the chi-square is used to find the bias of respondents regarding the various related factors. So in which we find the observed frequency as well as the expected frequency. The second is chi-square test for independence or relatedness. That is the analysis of relationship between two categorical variables. So we'll consider one example related to the test of independence or relatedness, in which we'll find out the relationship between the two categorical variables. Now what are the assumptions required in chi-square test? The first one is two variables should be measured at an ordinal or nominal level. That is, the data should be categorical for both the variables. So there will be four combination: the nominal nominal, nominal ordinal, ordinal nominal, or ordinal ordinal. So these are the four combinations of data required in chi-square test, because chi-square test is a non-parametric test. Assumption number two: two variables should consist of two or more categorical or independent groups. So when we'll find out the relationship between the two variables of the categorical data, there should be at least two groups, and it may be more than two also. 3. The data consist of entire populations or be randomly sampled from the population. So either we can select the entire population, or the data should be randomly selected. The sample should be randomly selected from the population. The next fourth assumption is 80% of the expected frequency should be 5 or more. So when we collect data, there will be observed frequency, and on the basis of observed frequency we calculate expected frequency by using the formula row total into column total divided by grand total. So when we calculate the expected frequencies, their value should not be less than 5. However, the observed frequency can be any value including 0. Then the 5, preferably no data point should be 0. It is advisable that our data should not be 0. Now we are considering one topic, a study of relationship between educational background and academic grades, and a study in B schools of Pune. So in our study we are trying to find out the educational background of these students and whatever the academic grades they have achieved in the examination. So we are trying to find out the relationship. Now scale of measurement. So educational background, that is in nominal scale. You can see here the 5 educational background of these students are there: BCom, BE, BSc, BBA and BA. And the academic grades, it is in ordinal scale: grade A, grade B and grade C. Why it is in ordinal scale? Because grade A is better than grade B and grade B is better than grade C. So that is the scale of measurement. And now we have defined our objectives on the basis of our topic. So the first objective is to study the educational background and academic performance in terms of grades of the students. And second, our main objective to study the relationship between the educational background and academic performance in terms of grades of the students. So our main objective to find out the relationship. Now on the basis of objectives we have formulated our hypothesis. So our null hypothesis is H naught. There is no significant relationship between educational background and academic grades of the students. We can write it in this also, like this also: educational background and academic grades of students are independent to each other, because we have seen our definition that chi-square test is the test of independence or relatedness. So that's why we are saying that educational background and academic grades of students are independent to each other. Then what is our alternative hypothesis? H1, there is a significant relationship between educational background and academic grades of the students. So alternately what we can write here: educational background and academic grades of students are dependent to each other. or we can say that they related to each other. Now we have our data with us because we have collected our data. So in the SPSS you can see here, this is our data. This is our roll number of the students. Roll number of the students you can see here. Roll number of the students, and then educational background 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is equal to BCom, 2 is equal to BE, 3 is equal to BSc, 4 is equal to BBA, and 5 is equal to BA. So these are the values we have put, coded we have, and then this is the grade points. The 1 is equal to A grade, 2 is equal to B grade, and 3 is equal to C grade. So we'll go these data. Our educational background is in nominal scale and grade is in ordinal scale. Now we'll go to variable view and we'll define here in the values. In the values we'll define 1, sorry, it is roll number. So we need not have to write anything. We'll go to educational background. So in educational background 1 is equal to BCom, 2 is equal to BE, 3 is equal to BSc, 4 is equal to BBA, and 5 is equal to BA. So we have given the names to the code numbers, and then the grade, that 1 is equal to grade A, 2 is equal to grade B, and 3 is equal to grade C. So we have defined that also. Okay. So roll number of the students, it is not required. We can clear it also. So just I will clear this. I will clear this. It is not required. So educational background is in nominal, grade is in ordinal scale. Ordinal scale. So we have to see, our first assumption was the data should be in categorical data. So our data is in categorical, and second, the data should be selected randomly, so that we have selected the entire population we have taken. Either we have to take the entire population, or it should be the sample should be selected randomly. So that we have done, and then we are talking about the expected frequency should not be less than 5. So these are the main points. So now we'll go to analyze. To find out chi-square, we'll go to analyze, then we'll go to descriptive statistics. In descriptive statistics, we'll go to cross tabulation, and then we'll click this. Now grade, we'll take this into the row, or educational background, we'll take it into column. Then we'll go to statistics. In statistics, we'll find out chi-square, because we have to find the chi-square, contingency coefficient, phi and Cramer's V, lambda, that we can find out. So all these values will give us the relationship. What is the relationship that will indicate? So if the contingency coefficient is nearer to 0, then there is no relationship. It is between 0.5 and 1, then there is a relationship. Similarly, the Cramer's value, if it is nearer to 0, then no relationship. Between less than 0.2, then it is a we can say that the weak relationship. Between 0.2 to 0.3, moderate relationship, and greater than 0.3, it is a strong relationship. Same for this lambda also related. It is just like Cramer's V. So these are the thing. So lambda also, if it is nearer to 0, then no relationship. Between less than 0.2, then it is a weak relationship. Between 0.2 to 0.3, it is a moderate relationship, and greater than 0.3, then it is a strong relationship. So that we will find out. Continue, and then we'll go to sales here, then the observed frequency, expected frequency, then row, column, and then total we will find out, and then continue. For format, we need not have to do anything, and then we continue. So you can see here, this is our data. So 100 sample size is there, 100%, there are no missing values. So in which the count, in count means these are the observed frequencies, and on the basis of, by using the formula, the expected count, row total into column total divided by grain total, this is our expected frequency, and then the grade percentage out of 20, 4 out of 28, 14 0.3%, and here it is, you can see here similarly 14 out of 28, that is the 50% you can see here, and so on related to that. So then educational background percentage, then so on, that is the B 70%, this is the expected frequency, and these are the values we have calculated. Great point. Similarly for this grade B grade it is, then similarly for grade C, and this is for total value we have. So now we'll go to the next. This is, you can see here, the chi-square value, Pearson chi-square value. So Pearson chi-square value is 0.000, which is less than 0.05. So what does it mean? So null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is accepted. What does it mean? There is a relationship between our alternative hypothesis was there is a relationship between educational background and academic grades of the student. So from here we can say that. Now you can come here, the value, your symmetric value, your lambda value for your grade, it is 0.317. Grade value it is 0.317. You can see here 0.317, it is 0.317. So it is greater than 0.3, greater than 0.3. So there is a strong relationship, lambda it is saying. Then again we will come to this Cramer's V. Cramer's V value is 0.414. Again it is greater than 0.3. So there is a strong relationship. And then contingency coefficient also 0.506. It is greater than 0.5. So there is a strong relationship. So all these values are indicating there is a strong relationship. So there is a relationship between the educational background and academic grades of the students. Now we'll see how to report this value. We'll go to our table, result, reporting of the result. You can see here. So what it is saying, that data collected for analysis holds all the assumptions of chi-square test. The significant value of Pearson chi-square is 0.000, which is less than 0.05. So it has sufficient evidence as per the decision rule to reject the null hypothesis. Hence H1, that is alternative hypothesis, is accepted. Okay, so there is a relationship. Now contingency coefficient, what it is saying? So values lies between, contingency coefficient lies between 0 to 1, close to 0, then no relationship. Between 0.5 to 1, strong relationship. So the value of contingency coefficient is 0.506. It is greater than 0.5. So there is a strong correlation. Lambda close to 0, no relationship. Less than 0.2, weak relationship. 0.2 to 0.3, moderate. More than 0.3, strong relationship. So the lambda value is 0.317, means there is a strong relationship. Cramer's V, close to 0, no relationship. Less than 0.2, weak. Between 0.2 to 0.3, moderate, and more than 0.3, strong. So the Cramer's V value is 0.414, means that is there is a strong relationship. So it means that there is a significant relationship between educational background and academic performance of the students. The one assumptions I forgot to show you, I will just show you, that is the frequency. Expected frequency should not be less than 0.5. Expected frequency. So you can see here in this table, you can see in the chi-square test table, you can see your 0 cells. So 0.0% have expected count less than 5. So no values, expected values are less than 5. So our condition holds. If otherwise, if it is less than 5, then you will get some percentage, 2%, 20%, 25% of the expected frequencies are less than 5. So we have 0% less than 5. So our fourth assumption was no expected frequency should be less than 5. So that also holds. So that's why I forgot to show you this. So once again I am showing you. So now we'll go to again this value, this data. So we have seen that our null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is accepted. All the data, our significant value is showing that the null hypothesis is rejected, alternative hypothesis is accepted. Our contingency coefficient, lambda value, Cramer's V, all are saying that there is a strong relationship. So it means that there is a significant relationship between educational background and academic performance of the students. So that's it for chi-square test. Thank you very much.